From stories across the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Nitya Chandra.
A very good evening to you. I am Dishan Veerakon, and let's take a look at the headlines for tonight.
Sajith Premadasa is the United National Party presidential candidate. Sajith vows to dedicate himself to develop the country. Late Prime Minister Bandaranayake is commemorated. Relevant parties are ordered by the courts to release the documents relevant to the investigations on Gotabaya Rajapaksa. It is the government that was in power during that period that is responsible for the unsolved crimes, says Anura Disanayake.
Now in your top story this evening, Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Sajith Premadasa, has been selected as the presidential candidate of the party today. The Working Committee of the United National Party has unanimously agreed to nominate Minister Premadasa at a special meeting held at the party headquarters. A meeting regarding the presidential candidate was held between Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and party seniors at the Temple Trees this morning. The Working Committee meeting was commenced around 3 p.m. with the participation of 68 committee members. Leader of the United National Party, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, nominated the party deputy leader Sajith Premadasa as the candidate of the party for the upcoming presidential election. All committee members unanimously agreed to the nomination proposed by the Premier. A decision was made to hold the party convention to confirm the party candidacy for the presidential election at the Sugatadasa Indoor Stadium on October 3rd. The first public rally to declare Minister Sajith Premadasa as the presidential candidate will be held at the Golface Green on the 10th of October with the participation of hundreds of thousands of party activists. A warm welcome was given to Minister Sajith Premadasa by the public as he left the party headquarters after being nominated as the presidential candidate of the United National Party.
Sajith Premadasa was announced as the United National Party presidential candidate this afternoon at a special media briefing conducted at the UMP headquarters in Sirigota. The announcement that Sajith Premadasa is selected as the presidential candidate from the UMP was announced officially by the General Secretary of the United National Party, Minister Akila Virajkaryawasam. General Secretary of the United National Party, Minister Akila Virajkaryawasam, said that we are dedicated to carry forward the decisions we have been activating, such as amendments to the Constitution, further distribution of power, reformations to the electoral system, and what we have launched to continue the executive presidency in agreement with the Prime Minister. To continue this is the dedication. Everyone's opinion will be sought regarding these matters. The unanimous decision of the Working Committee was given to these. Accordingly, the Parliamentary Group decision too was given to it. As the representatives of the United National Party, the decision of the Working Committee was to appoint Honourable Sajith Premadasa as the presidential candidate. This decision was agreed upon by the Parliamentary Group, and the decision was taken for Ranil Wickremesinghe to continue as party leader. All these important decisions were taken in such manner so that the party would remain undivided. We are grateful to the Prime Minister in taking these decisions. He further said it is appropriate to thank everybody for taking these important decisions that would take the country forward and preserve the unity of the party.
කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයේ ගැනීම පිළිබඳවත් ඒ වගේම යෝජනා සම්මත කිරීම පිළිබඳවත් මම එතුමාටත් අපේ පක්ෂයේ කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයටත් മന്ത്രി කණ්ඩායමටත් අපේ ස්තුතිය පක්ෂය වෙනුවෙන් පුද කරන්න ඕනේ.
අද එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ පූර්වාදර්ශයක්
හැටියට The chairman of the United National Party, Minister Kabir Hashim, said that the United National Party has given a vow to protect the democracy of this country that is started from the main house of our party itself. The leader who wanted the country to be appointed as the presidential candidate had been chosen by the party. We gathered unitedly to take this decision. It is the first of our victories that will make all of us happy. Subsequently, the presidential candidate Minister Sajith Premadasa joined the press briefing. Minister Sajith Premadasa said that the expectation is a united effort to be victorious. In a unified Sri Lanka with the total force, the division of power, the reformation of electoral system, presidential system will be achieved in orderly fashion. The support and collaboration of all is required to achieve these. There are no conditions imposed on achieving these. Finally, the collective decision was to contest under the symbol of the swan. There are no hidden agendas. Under no circumstances there will be any buckling down to local or foreign demands.
Now crowds around the island cheered as the name of Minister Sajith Premadasa was announced as the presidential candidate of the United National Party.
Now for a brief note on the personal life and political career of the new presidential candidate of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa. Born on January 12, 1967 in Colombo, Minister Sajith Premadasa received his primary education from St. Thomas Preparatory School and Royal College, Colombo. Subsequently, he attended the Mill Hill School in London, and at the school he won the Advanced Level Prize for Politics and Business Studies and was appointed a prefect, which is a rare honour for any foreign student. He played in the first 11 cricket team for 4 years, captaining the side in 1986. He then entered the London School of Economics of the University of London, graduating with a bachelor's degree in Economics, Politics and International Relations. Thereafter, he attended the University of Maryland. During this time, he interned in the Foreign Relations Committee under Senator Larry Pressler. However, he returned to the country following the assassination of his father in 1993. He then entered into Sri Lankan politics in 1994 as the district organizer of the UMP for Hambantota district. Without taking much time to get into the political track, he launched a program, Jana Suvaya, similar to his father's Jana Savya, to alleviate poverty in the Hambantota district. After years of working at grassroots level, Minister Sajith Premadasa entered Parliament in the year 2000, holding the highest number of preferences in Hambantota. He was appointed as the Deputy Minister of Health in 2001 and then became the Cabinet Minister of Housing and Construction. The honorary title Sasana Deepana Abhimani Sri Lanka Janaranjana was conferred on Minister Sajith Premadasa in recognition of his service to the nation and the Buddha Sasana with the blessings of the Maha Sangha. Rendering an invaluable service towards the progress of the United National Party as its deputy leader, Minister Sajith Premadasa was entrusted with the portfolio Cultural Affairs to his ministerial responsibilities this year.
Now, the 60th death anniversary commemoration of the late Prime Minister SWRD Bandaranaike, the founder of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, was conducted at the Bandaranaike Monument at Horagolla this morning under the patronage of the SLFP chairman, President Maithripala Sirisena. Late Prime Minister Bandaranaike's vision was to steer the country along the progressive path with the assistance of the Sangha, native physicians, teachers, farmers and labourers, termed as the Pancha Mahabalavegaya. In parallel to the 60th death anniversary memorial of the late Prime Minister, the memorial ceremonies of the former Prime Minister, late Sirimavo Bandaranaike, and the former Speaker of the Parliament, late Andra Bandaranaike too, were conducted. Former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga and Sunetra Bandaranaike, along with the relatives of the Bandaranaike family, paid floral tributes to the Horagolla Bandaranaike Memorial while the Mahasangha performed religious rites. Subsequently, President Maithripala Sirisena placed a floral tribute in front of the Bandaranaike Memorial Monument. This was followed by placing of floral tributes by Speaker of the House Karu Jayasuriya and senior members of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, followed by members of the public. The principal Anusasana was conducted by the chief incumbent of Attanagala Raja Mahavihara, Venerable Pannila Sri Ananda Thera.
Meanwhile, the Colombo Magistrate Courts ordered the Control of Immigration and Immigration today to take steps to provide the necessary documents required for an investigation on Gotabaya Rajapaksa. A complaint has been received regarding the 2005 presidential election period that Gotabaya Rajapaksa, while being an American citizen arriving in Sri Lanka on tourist visa, conducting political activities, thus violating Citizenship Act, Immigration and Immigration Act and the Elections Act. It had been revealed that during the year 2005, Gotabaya Rajapaksa had obtained dual citizenship from the Department of Immigration and Immigration when it was under the Defence Ministry. The CID informed the courts even though they have requested the relevant documents from the relevant officials, they have claimed those documents are not in their possession. The officials requested the courts to take necessary steps to obtain the relevant documents from the Control of Immigration and Immigration. Accepting the request, the court issued an order to the Control of Immigration and Immigration and the Assistant Elections Commissioner of Hambantota to issue the said documents. This investigation was launched according to a complaint made to Inspector General of Police by Professor Chandragupta Thenuvara and Gamini Viyangoda. The 7-panel board of Supreme Court judges has concluded the investigation of 12 petitions submitted on violation of fundamental rights against former Defence Secretary Hemasiri Fernando and former Inspector General of Police Pujitha Jayasundara and a number of other parties. Subsequently, the panel of judges postponed the decision to grant permission regarding these petitions. Even though substantial intelligence reports have been received, the failure to prevent the terrorist attack on the Easter Sunday is a violation of fundamental rights. It had been complained against the former Secretary of Defence and the former Inspector General of Police and a group of others according to these petitions.
Now, it is the government that was in power that is responsible for those crimes that could not be revealed through investigations, says the National Jana Balavegaya presidential candidate Anura Kumara Disanaika. He stated this at a public rally held in Galle yesterday. The National Jana Balavegaya presidential candidate Andra Kumara Disanaika said that the police have revealed details of the infamous crimes in our country, such as the assassinations, robberies and plunder of assets of state. However, there are crimes that cannot be found in our country. The assassins of the Rohana Kumara murder were not found. The assassins of Tajuddin assassination were not found. The assassins of Lasanta Vikramatunga were not found. The abductors of Eknaligoda were not found. Those who assaulted Kate Noya were also not found. So does those who assaulted Padalla Jayantha not found.
Now, victory should be achieved by working under a common symbol and a common program, states the media spokesperson of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Veerakumara Dissanayake. He made this declaration during a media briefing conducted in the party headquarters today. Speaking further, the media spokesperson of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Veerakumara Dissanayake, said that we have decided to call the Central Executive Committee on the 30th at 7:30 p.m. in the official residence of the President. There is the possibility that it will be a meeting of the Central Committee where decisive political arguments and counter-arguments will occur. This is because we expect to assess the present situation at this committee meeting and take a decision. If it is necessary for us to discuss anything further, we will extend the meeting to another day or two and make an expeditious decision.
Now, the train strike launched from midnight yesterday has caused immense difficulty to the passengers at a time when steps have been taken to satisfy the workers' demands to launch strikes is a grave injustice, says the State Minister Ashok Abesingha. State Minister Ashok Abesingha said that the salary anomalies had been discussed over a long period. If that salary level is granted to the workers concerned, it will affect the total government service of 519,000 people, was the opinion of the Ministry of Finance and the Salaries Commission. As such, the President appointed a committee which has decided to increase their salary. They have been granted a salary increase of 35,195 and second grade will be given 43,860 rupees and the first grade will get 52,080 rupees. The Finance Ministry has decided that these salary increases will come into effect from the 1st of January. The strikers have demanded that this increase will be immediate. They have not informed us about this demand, but they have made the demand through the media. However, our decision is from the 1st of January. Even though a strike is called, a number of trains were added to the schedule, says the railway's control room. There were 2 office railways running from Galle this morning. Another 6 trains arrived from outstation to Colombo, says the railway control room. Now, most of the railway stations look deserted in this manner. Steps were taken to add additional buses to the schedule, says the State Minister Ashok Abesingha.
At an instant where proposals and recommendations to solve the salary discrepancies in the teacher and principal services are finalized, it is very unfair to launch a strike, claiming to be sick, the Ministry of Education states. The ministry insists that it is the duty of the honourable professionals in the teacher and principal services to not support opportunism. It has been decided to activate the recommendations of the committee appointed to remove the disparities in salaries in the government services regarding the salary increases of the government servants, including the teachers and the principals. The increase in salaries will be in effect from the 1st of January next year. At an instant where these releases are granted for teachers and principals to stay away from reporting to work, claiming to be sick is detested by the Ministry of Education. The relevant trade unions are claiming, even by hinting, that the forthcoming relief measures are due to their strike action. This is a trickery fooling the trade union members, points out the ministry. Parallel to the salaries of the year 2015, the salaries of the teachers and principals have been raised by 106%. There is no other government that had increased the salaries so much, Minister Akila Virajkaryavasam says. In conducting strikes for personal gain rather than to win their rights is a disgrace to the honourable teachers' trade. It is the duty of the honourable profession of principals to not support the trade union bent on political issues, but rather to maintain the professional responsibilities, insists the Ministry of Education.
Now, Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne says that lung transplantation will be performed in the country soon. He pointed out that Sri Lanka has achieved a rapid progress in organ transplantation. The minister made these remarks while addressing a ceremony held in Colombo recently.
The ceremony was organized in Colombo last night in celebration of the 10-year collaboration between Sri Lanka and Dr. Leela Institute and Medical Center in Chennai. The event was held under the patronage of Minister Dr. Rajitha Senaratne. Chairman of the Dr. Leela Institute and Medical Center, Professor Mohammed Reela, and his delegation were also present on this occasion. Professor Mohammed Reela is considered as one of the world's leading experts in liver transplantation. He has performed over 4,000 successful transplants thus far. More than 200 Sri Lankans have been treated for transplants under Professor Rila in the past 10 years.
We are preparing the facilities to perform the first lung transplant by a Sri Lankan. Actually, you can help them to improve. We have a lot of talents. Patients who could afford the cost used to travel abroad for transplant, while others had to depend on local treatment options. I believe treatment abroad would cost several millions, 12 millions in India, and almost double that amount in Singapore. Cost for such surgery at our private hospitals, I believe, amounts to around rupees 5 to 6 million, while at our own government hospitals the surgeries are done totally free. Thus, free liver transplantation is the latest addition to our list of the health care services the government provides to its people. We already provide a wide range of healthcare interventions for those seeking treatment at government hospitals, including free stents for cardiac patients, ocular lenses, lifelong cancer treatment, auditory devices, even cochlear implants that cost about rupees 3.6 million. The poor are deaf, the rich, they go abroad, they get the cochlear implant. By the time they come back, they can hear. So I saw, then I asked why this happened, because they said the cochlear implant is about 3.6 million. Then the government hospitals never did. I said, do it. I will pay the 3.6 million. We started. By last January, over 1,000 cochlear implants were done. They all can now hear. All those poor children, they can speak now. So we never calculated on rupees and cents, but we always believe the worthiness of human life. We have also fixed maximum retail price for nearly 75 most commonly used drugs in consultation with the pharma sector. And also we have brought down the price of cardiac stents 3.5 lakhs to 1 lakh. Cataract lenses from 30,000 to 8,000 rupees. Even the drugs, we have brought down to about 1/10 of the price or 1/8 of the price, like that. This is in order to further strengthen our universal health coverage, which has helped us to enjoy both best health indications in the region.
The first question that people ask or people want to know, if I had a liver transplant, what is my life expectancy? What is my quality of life? Because it's an expensive operation for people to have. So many people want to live, and once they've had the operation, they want to know how they are going to be in 10 years' time, 15 years' time. You saw almost 50% of these patients are children. So it's not an operation to save a life for only 6 months or 1 year. There is absolutely no point in saving a life of a 6-month-old child for 1 year. It's not economically feasible, and it's very traumatic for a family to just save a life. The 6 months ago transplant is able to see the patient who's had a transplant 6 years ago and feels good about it because they think that this is how I'm going to be. This is not an operation done just to save a life, but it improves the quality of life and puts them back to life. I don't know if I'm allowed to bring all the children and adults who have had a transplant to the front here. This is not the case with kidney transplant. This is not the case with heart transplant. It actually puts them back to normal life. We have association with some countries. One example is Oman. So what I want to promise the minister here and the deputy minister here, we are there to help you set up something very similar. All you need to do is to ask us. We would love you to come and visit our program and see what can be done in the West, can be done in our part of the world, and we can do it very successfully. And we'd like to help you, your patients, and set up a transplant program and really to transfer the technology to this country, which is really our important neighbor and associate.
Now, Abhiman Lanka Alliance declared Dr. Rohan Pallewatta as the presidential candidate for the presidential election 2020. This was declared at an event held in Colombo yesterday. Abhiman Lanka Alliance, a collaboration of 42 civil societies, organized the event under the theme "Our Motherland Degraded by 71 Years of Corrupt Politics." The presidential nominee, Dr. Rohan Pallewatta, will run for the presidency under the National Development Front, of which the party symbol would be the coconut. Dr. Pallewatta is to pay the relevant cash deposit as a presidential candidate on Friday. Addressing the gathering, Pallewatta said that people of this country should first figure out what they are expecting from a national leader. He also stressed the importance of having a visionary leader to ignite the potential of the country and its nation. He also said that his policies are solely based on national interest. Public interest litigation activist Naga Ananda Koritwaku, who has also declared his intention to join the presidential race, was also present at the event.
Now, the 2019 SO Sri Lanka Pro World Surf League Qualifying Series 3000 event commenced yesterday morning at Aragon Bay in the presence of a large gathering of surfing fans from all across the world. The 2019 SO Sri Lanka Pro World Surf League Qualifying Series 3000 event is organized by the World Surf League, Sri Lanka Surfing Federation and the Sri Lanka Tourism Promotions Bureau, along with many other collaborators. With 3,000 QS points up for grabs for competitors aiming to qualify for the Elite World Surf League Championship Tour, the event has attracted over 100 competitors from more than 25 countries. The tournament will be held from the 25th to the 29th of September. Chairman of the Tourism Promotion Bureau, Kishu Gomez, made the following remarks at a press conference held yesterday in this regard.
Quite evident that these are the markets where we have the future to grow the tourism industry. So from that perspective, there is a acute strategic fit which is important, and apart from that, obviously we had this incident that we had to very unfortunately face back in April, and since then, and we've been trying in many ways through communication and various other efforts to try and regain confidence from the rest of the world in order to create the right perception for Sri Lanka back again. So this is an international event in its true mean, and therefore with the publicity we have already obtained or gained, and with the publicity we will be obviously accruing over the next several days, I'm sure we will be able to take a strong message across the entire world to say Sri Lanka is as safe as what it used to be prior to the incident, or safer.
Meanwhile, the Colombo International Book Exhibition will be open from 9 a.m. tomorrow to 9 in the night. Large crowds gathered at the exhibition grounds at BMICH today too from the morning. The exhibition includes 475 stalls and number of foreign participants. The Book Publishers Association has allocated facilities for the launch of books each day. The exhibition will be continued till the 29th.
Now in your stock update this evening, the all shares price index closed at 5,772.76 points, increased by 10.36 points, and the S&P SL20 index closed at 2,754.91 points, also dropped by 13.52 points at the end of trading in the Colombo Stock Exchange today. Now turnovers over 273 million rupees.
Now before we wrap up, let's take a look at the weather forecast. The Met Department says that the atmospheric conditions are getting favorable for evening thunder showers over most parts of the island. Showers or thunder showers will occur over most parts of the island in the evening or at night. Fairly heavy falls, about 75 millimeters, are likely at some places in Sabargamuwa, Central and Uva provinces. Several spells of light showers will occur in the coastal areas of the western, southern and northwestern provinces in the morning as well. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning. And that is a wrap of tonight's primetime news. Until we meet again next time, do take care and good night.
Good night.